Sorry. Hine ma tovu ma naim, Shabbat achim gam yahad. Hine ma tovu ma naim, Shabbat achim gam yahad. Hine ma tovu ma naim, Shabbat achim gam yahad. Hine ma tovu ma naim, Shabbat achim gam yahad. Hine ma tovu ma naim, Shabbat achim gam yahad. Hine ma tovu ma naim, Shabbat achim gam yahad.
Well, Shabbat Shalom, everybody, everyone in our Zoom box, and those of you watching on our YouTube streaming. Hope you're having a nice beginning to your Shabbat, letting go of the past week and moving into some rest and some relaxation. Hopefully you didn't get rained on too badly since you were quarantined anyway. So likelihood is that you were home and not getting wet. As you can see, there are lots of people in our Zoom room because not only is it Shabbat for us, but it's also 12th grade graduation where all of these amazing, fabulous, super people are leaving high school and going to college and other places and moving on to higher learning institutions. And we're very excited. We're a little sad, but we're very excited. So as you're going to sit back and relax and enjoy our service, you might want to have access to our prayer book. So the way to find that most easily is to go to cbiboca.org. That is our website. At the top, it says worship. Hit worship, then you'll get Shabbat. Then under Shabbat, there'll be an option that says virtual prayer book, and you can just press that button and it'll give it to you on the screen. And thank you to our fabulous people at the CCAR Press who run that. Now the pages all match up. So again, cbiboca.org, hit Shabbat at the worship at the top rather, then Shabbat, and then the virtual prayer book should be in there, and then you can follow along with our service. So graduates, when you think about the last 4 years, you'll probably remember that your greatest lessons came from outside the classroom. It's a good reminder that learning doesn't stop just because you received a diploma from your high school or from us. And so today is a milestone, not a destination in your Jewish lives. It shows how far you've come. So keep learning, keep trying, keep accomplishing, and keep venturing on through your endless journey. Ze hayom asa Adonai nagila v'nismecha bo. This is the day that God made. Let us celebrate and rejoice in it. With that, we'll continue with the lighting of Shabbat candles, and we turn it over to the fabulous Rabbi Cohen.
Each Shabbat that we welcome brings with it its own transition. And this evening, not only do we recognize the start of Shabbat, but we recognize the graduation of our 12th grade students. Your graduation may not be traditional, but it is not any less significant. So tonight, as we light these candles, we pray that your paths ahead may also be filled with light, with warmth, and with blessings. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Going to continue now with the Friday night Kaddish. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu v'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu. Shabbat kodsho be'ahava u'ratzon hinfilanu. Zikaron lema'aseh bereshit. Ki hayom tehila lemikra'ei kodesh. Zecher l'tziat Mitzrayim. Kivan b'charta v'yotanu kitashta mikol ha'amim v'shabbat kodshecha be'ahava u'ratzon hinfiltanu. Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh haShabbat. Amen. Chaim.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone. If I'm being completely honest with every single person in this room, I never thought that this day would come. I never thought that someday I would go off to school and leave the people here at CBI that have been a part of my life for as long as I can remember. For my entire life, I've been blessed to have such an incredible community of people who not only share the same passion for Judaism that I do, but truly have supported me in everything that I do and the journeys that I have taken. My CBI journey began at a very young age in Mamimi, where some of my relationships with my fellow Jewish students began. From preschool to weekly Tuesday nights at Hebrew school, to trips around the world, and finally post-confirmation classes, taking part in this CBI journey with people that have truly been my biggest supporters has been nothing short of a dream come true. Between the laughs and the tears that we shared, I will never forget the memories that I made throughout my time here. Aside from the relationships established and exciting adventures that took place throughout my time here, my experience as a member of the B'nai Israel Senior Youth Group Board over the past 4 years has taught me a number of valuable lessons and has prepared me on my journey into the business world. As a board member who journeyed from a grade representative to programming vice president and eventually president, I learned that while it's important to take responsibility as a leader who is constantly looked up to, you should never be afraid to be yourself. In a world where genuineness has seemed to become a dying breed, you never should be afraid to express yourself in your own personal way, and you should never lose pride in who you are and what you represent. I truly am proud of the young Jewish individual, not only that I have become, but every single person in this graduating class. I believe that we have all grown because of CBI, and that we have gained a new sense of what it means to be Jewish. Hopefully, in due time, I will have the chance to teach my children the Jewish values that I have acquired here, and I will be able to ignite the same passion that I have for Judaism in them. Now comes the mushy part. Mom, Dad, thank you for providing me with the opportunity to attend CBI and to be part of such a distinct community. I appreciate all that you have done for me to put me in the best possible situation, and I'm so thankful for you guys. To the clergy, thank you for educating me on what it means to be Jewish over the past 18 years. I truly appreciate every single one of you for making my time here special and for continuously finding ways to make Jewish education fun. Cheryl, thank you for being amazing and for serving as a fantastic individual behind the scenes. You are truly incredible, and I'm so thankful to have you in my life. Kim, to say that you helped me become the individual that I am today is an enormous understatement. The impact that you had not only on me, but every single CBI student that has stayed through post-confirmation is truly unmatched. From staying behind the group in order to take care of my 103-degree fever in Israel, to the countless parenting moments that we have had over the years. You truly have been a rock, not only for me and my family, but for every single person here at CBI. And lastly, to Zoe Goldberg. From the moment we first came into Busy together in my freshman year, I knew that we would be the best of friends. You have been a tremendous inspiration for me as I've matured into a young adult, and you have been by my side for both the good and bad times. As I journeyed through high school, I will never forget the memories that we have created, and I will never forget the impact that you and every single person here at CBI has had on me. The journey ahead will be full of exciting things and tremendous experiences. I still have a full life ahead of me, and there will be plenty of new memories to be made. Although my life is just taking off, there's a little song that Miss Susan implanted in my head that I always find myself humming as I travel somewhere new. Wherever you go, there's always someone Jewish. You're never alone when you say you're a Jew. Whether it's Amsterdam, Disneyland, or Tel Aviv, I will never forget my time here at Congregation B'nai Israel, and I will hold the memories of this wonderful place in my heart for the rest of my life. Shabbat Shalom.
How appropriate. We are going to be singing a song from our own Miss Susan next on page 13. Shiru Ladonai, Shir Chadash, Shiru Kol Haaretz, Shiru Ladonai, Shiru Ladonai, Shir Chadash, Shiru Kol Haaretz, Shiru Ladonai. Sing to you a new song, sing a song tonight. All the earth is singing a new song. When we are together, we sing a song to God, Shir Chadash, a new song unto God. Shir Ladonai, Shir Chadash, Shir Kol Haaretz, Shir Ladonai. Sing to you a new song, sing a song to God. All the earth is singing a new song. When we are together, we sing a song to God, Shir Chadash, a new song unto God.
Please turn to page 20 to greet the Sabbath bride. Dodi likra likra kala, pene pene Shabbat nekabela. Lecha lecha dodi likra likra kala, pene pene Shabbat nekabela. Shemor v'zachor v'dibor echad, Kishmianu Eloham Yechad, Adonai Echad, Shemo Echad. L'shem Tiferet Dalit Hila La 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 Dodi Likra Likra Kala, P'nei P'nei Shabbat Nekabela. Lecha Lecha Dodi Likra Likra Kala, P'nei P'nei Shabbat Nekabela. Likrat Shabbat Lechu V'nelcha, Ki Hi Mekor Haveracha, Merosh Mikadem Nesucha, Sof Ma'aseh B'machshavat Zechila La 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 Chadodi, Likrat Likrat Kala, P'nei P'nei Shabbat Nekabela. Lecha Lecha Dodi Likrat Likrat Kala, P'nei P'nei Shabbat Nekabela. Hitoreri, hitoreri, hi ma'oreh, umi uri, uri uri, shir daveri, kavod Adonai alayim, tikva la 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 chadodi, likra likra kala, p'nei p'nei Shabbat nekabela, ala chadodi. Bawi v'shalom ateret bala. Gam besimcha uvzahola. Toch emune am segula. Bawi chala, bawi chala. Kadodi likra likra kala. P'nei p'nei Shabbat mikala. Lecha lecha dodi likra likra kala. P'nei p'nei Shabbat mikala.
Shabbat Shalom. Since preschool, I have been a student at CBI. Personally, I consider myself to have been a member since before birth. I must admit that I did not always understand the true value of my Jewish education as much as I do now. And I have to thank my parents for forcing me to go to temple even when I didn't think I wanted to. CBI has been essential in shaping me into the person I am today, and I don't know who I would be without it. I've had many wonderful memories with the community here, but there is one trip that stands out. The Israel trip after confirmation was one of the most transformative experiences I've ever had. The perceptions we had of each other changed over those 3 weeks, and I would not be as close as I am with many of my fellow post-confirmation graduates had it not been for the experiences had on that trip. Among the Jewish values I hold dear is Lador Vador, from generation to generation. It is of great importance that our tradition and heritage are passed on throughout the generations, and I will uphold this value in my life. I will pass on our history and our heritage on to the next generation. This congregation has been so impactful for our lives and those of our families. I would like to thank my parents, my brother Bennett, Rabbi Silvers, Rabbi Keller, Rabbi Cohen, Cantor Muchnick, and Cantor Sarah. I would also like to thank Kim Beam, Cheryl Epstein, Zoe Goldberg, and the teachers whom I have learned from and taught with. Thank you. Shabbat Shalom.
The next prayer is on page 26. Yekada v'yekada shemei rabba v'amadi v'achirute v'amlich malchute v'chayechon uv'yomechon uv'chayedecho beit Yisrael bagale bagale uv'izman kariv v'imiru amen. Yehi shmei rabba mevora le'elam u'lo me'omaya Yitbarach, Yitbarach, V'yishtaba, V'yitpa'ar, V'yitraman, V'yitnaseh, V'yitadar, V'yitale, V'yitalal, Shemedi Kudasha, Berehu, Le'ela, Mikol Birhata, V'shirata, Tushbechata, V'ne'emata, Darim Be'ama, V'yimeru, Amen.
Prayer is on page 28. Baruch Hu et Adonai Hamavorach. Baruch Adonai Hamavorach. Le'olam va'ed.
Roll into dark, roll into light. Night becomes day, day turns to night. Roll into dark, roll into light. Night becomes day, day turns to night. Borei balayla, golel or mipnei chosha, golel or mipnei chosha, vehoshech mipnei or. Roll into dark, roll into light. Night becomes day, day turns to night. Roll into dark, roll into light. Night becomes day, day turns to night.
Please follow along on page 31. Praise to you, Adonai our God, from whom the evening flows. Your wisdom sets the way on which time seasons glide. Your breath guides time of life. You guide the current of day into night. As heaven extends to infinity, you set its course through eternity. Praise to you, Adonai our God, for whom the evening flows. Baruch atah Adonai, Amri Avarim.
This is on page 32. Everlasting love you offered your people, Israel, by teaching us Torah and mitzvot, laws and precepts. Therefore, Adonai our God, when we lie down and when we rise up, we will meditate on your laws and your commandments. We will rejoice in your Torah forever. Day and night we will reflect on them, for they are our life, and doing them lengthens our days. Never remove your love from us. Praise to you, Adonai, who loves your people, Israel. Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev Amo Yisrael.
ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודך. והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושינתם לבניך ודיברת בם, בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך, ובשוכבך ובקומך, ובשעתם להיות על ידיך, והיו לטפטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתיכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אדוני אלוהיכם אמת.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone. My name is Taylor Roberts, and I've been going to CBI since I was a baby. CBI has always felt like a second home to me. The people here are my family and people that I know I can always depend on no matter what happens. It's been a place where I felt safe and could be my real self. CBI has brought me closer to my Jewish heritage and given me an opportunity to become closer to God. It has allowed me to develop into the person I am today. I remember going to the youth lounge for my first time. I felt out of place at first and didn't know anybody there. I remember pretending to sit on my phone because I was scared to interact with people. Instantly, this all changed when the youth director, Zoe, introduced me to some of the nicest people. In the beginning, I remember Zoe, Kim, and Cheryl pushing me to attend Tuesday night classes. I never wanted to put Judaism before golf or regular school. But then after attending classes on a weekly basis, I started to gain a strong connection with who I am and where I came from. I started to realize that my Jewish heritage meant something more than I realized. It meant so much to me that even after my family moved to Parkland, I continue to go back to CBI because I connected so strongly with the values and concepts I was learning. A lot of kids give their parents excuses for why they don't want to go back to Hebrew school, but I was the weird kid who kept asking my parents to go back. The lessons I've learned at CBI are lessons that I would have never learned anywhere else. And I wish every kid got the chance to grow up within the CBI walls because there is nothing else like it, at least in my eyes. The lessons I've learned include gaining knowledge about my Jewish ancestors, the Holocaust, Israel, gun violence, anti-Semitism, how to care for others, how to be a madricha, and participate in doing tikkun olam, doing acts of kindness and mitzvot. CBI is so special to me, and I couldn't be more thankful for absolutely everything I've gained from going here. I was looking at baby pictures with my family earlier in the week of when I attended CBI and pre-K and Mommy and Me classes. I truly can't believe my time here has come to an end, and even though we are not together in person, I know that we will all connect together soon. To graduate, know that I've been a part of CBI for 18 years holds a special place in my heart, and I will ever cherish the memories that I have created here. For all of us that are graduating, I hope we will always stay in contact as we go off into the real world. Congrats everyone, and thank you to everyone who has made a profound impact on the person I am today. Each and every person I've met here has had an impact on me, whether it's the kids I've been surrounded with, the rabbis, the cantors, teachers, or 5th and 6th graders I've taught over the years. However, I wanted to take a little time to personally thank a few people who have made my experience nothing but extraordinary. Zoe, you told me you weren't going to be at our graduation, and I had to FaceTime you so you could see all of us on our special day. But yet, here we are. Zoe, if it wasn't for you, I truly wouldn't be as connected to Judaism as I am today. You made me yearn to come back to CBI each and every week. You made it fun and interesting, and I always had a good time being around you. You created events that every kid wanted to go to, and you've been there for me through it all. You're not just my youth advisor, but I consider you to be one of my closest friends. You're the easiest person to talk to, and I miss seeing your face every week. You have no idea how empty CBI felt after you left that first week. Kim, you've also been there every step of the way. Even when you were strict, I always knew you had my back. You've been a person I could always depend on and a person who I always learned from. Thank you for making my experiences at CBI so special. I'm going to miss hugging you goodbye every Monday and Tuesday night. Cheryl, you've been like another mother to me. You did everything in your power to keep me at CBI, even if it took you driving me home every week. I can't tell you how much that means to me. Thank you for always supporting and believing me. And lastly, sorry, I know this has been a little long, but I wanted to thank my family who gave me the opportunity to attend CBI, because without them, none of this would be possible. Thank you for attending our virtual service, and I hope you stay safe and healthy. Shabbat shalom, and have a good night.
Standing on the parted shores of history, we still believe that we were taught before we stood at Sinai's foot.
That wherever we go, it is eternally Egypt, that there is a better place, a promised land, that the winding way to that promise passes through the wilderness.
That there is no way to get from here to there except by joining hands and marching together.
Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi chamocha nedar b'kodesh, no ratehilot o sefele, no ratehilot o sefele. Malchutecha ra'uvanecha, bochei hayam, lifnei Moshe u'Miriam, zeli anu v'amru, Adonai yimloch, Adonai yimloch leolamvad.
Shalom, everyone. Wow, this is it. The moment we have worked so hard for. It seems so surreal how we are just about to embark on the next exciting, motivating, a little scary, but extremely rewarding chapter in our lives. It's pretty crazy to think about how I'm about to go off to school and leave this community, in which I've been a part of for the past 18 years of my life. I can pretty much tell you that everyone here had some impact on my life. Throughout my entire journey, I've been extremely fortunate to have gone through this experience with this community of people that share the same passion for Judaism as I do, and truly have supported me in everything that I do and everything I've worked on up to now. My CBI journey began in Mommy and Me, where some of my closest relationships began still to this day. I then moved up to preschool, then to the SLJ on weekly Tuesday night classes, prepared for my bar mitzvah, moved into confirmation classes, and now in post-confirmation. I would never trade this experience for anything else, and for that I am eternally grateful. Aside from this relationship and memories that were created during my time here, my experience moving through our high school youth group Busy over the past 4 years
We're having some technical difficulties.
I've learned how to be around others and how to manage different responsibilities with equal focus, how to help my community, and how to let loose and live in the moment. I am truly overjoyed of the young Jewish individual I have become. But everyone else sitting here today, I believe you guys' teaching, mentorship, and experiences really taught us of being what an overall good person like. I think if I'm able to put on my shoulders with the same passion Judaism, morals, and sense of a strong, everlasting community that I received here from CBI. I've been staying passionate about Judaism well into my college year, but trying different organizations and groups, but I never lose touch of what I gained at CBI. With all that being said, I wish I could truly show each and every one of you my gratitude for making me this person I am today. To all the clear Jewish for the past 18 years, every single one of you has truly opened my eyes to different perspectives that I know will help guide me throughout my entire life. To all my teachers here, thank you for truly being trusting. That was a pretty difficult task to accomplish. Cheryl, thank you for being such an amazing mentor to me and helping me every step of the way. You're truly an inspiration to me, and I am so thankful that you played such an impactful role in my life. Zoe, from the moment you stepped in my life, you always stood by my side with all the decisions I made as I ventured through high school. I will never forget all the memories we have created and lessons you have taught me throughout the years. And lastly, Kim, it is immeasurable an understatement to say that at least that you have truly helped me make me into the person I am today. The impact you have had on me and every other person's lives you've touched is like no other. They're always guiding me through good and bad times, from being someone I know I can always talk to, and just having that presence of being that mother figure when I traveled far from home. You have truly been an inspiration to me and to my family, and I know you will continue to touch the lives of so many young children. This day, as CBI graduates, we go on to the next chapter of our lives with our head held high, having all the invaluable lessons, mentorships, experiences, and friends with us wherever we go. The journey ahead will undoubtedly be full of exciting and momentous experience that I cannot wait to embark on. I will never forget my time here at Congregation in Israel, and all the memories I have made here will always be cherished for as long as I live. And I hope one day I have the opportunity to show my immense gratitude for everything CBI provided for me and my family. Shabbat Shalom.
Please turn to page 42. Vashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu l'shalom, v'hamidenu shomrenu l'chaim. Spread the shelter of your peace over us. Guide us in wisdom, compassion, and trust. Vashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu l'shalom, v'hamidenu shomrenu l'chaim. Save us for the sake of your name. Shield us from hatred, sorrow, and pain. Vashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu l'shalom, v'hamidenu shomrenu l'chaim. L'chaim. L'chaim.
You can find the next prayer on page 46. Adonai tzifatai tiftach ufi yagita hilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu ve'Elohei avotenu ve'imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, ve'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, ve'Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor ve'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasedim Tovim, V'Koneh HaKol, V'Zocher Chasdei Avot V'Imahot, Umevi Gula Livnei Bneihem, Leman Shemo Be'ahava, Melech Ozer U'Moshia U'Magen, Baruch Atah Adonai, Magen Avraham Be'ezrat Sarah, Atah Gibor Le'olam Adonai, Mechaye HaKol Atah Rav Lehoshia, Morid Hatal, Mechalkel Chaim Bechesed, Mechaye hakol berachamim ramim, somech noflim verofei holim, umatir asurim, umechayem emunato lishenei afar. Micha mocha ba'al givuro, umido melach, melech mimit umechaye umashpia neshua, v'ne'eman ata lechachayot hakol, baruch ata Adonai mechaye hakol. Ata kadosh v'shimcha kadosh, ukdoshim b'chol yom v'chayu hasela, baruch ata Adonai ha'el hakadosh.
We take some time for our own silent prayers and thoughts and meditations right now, and you can go through in the prayers of the prayer book if you'd like, or in the thoughts and meditations of your heart, and we continue silently until page 62.
Ose shalom, shalom bimroma, uyase shalom aleinu, ve'yakol Yisrael, ve'imru amen. Ose shalom, shalom bimroma, uyase shalom aleinu, ve'yakol Yisrael, ve'imru amen. Uyase shalom aleinu ve'yakol Yisrael, amen, amen. Ose shalom, shalom bimroma, uyase shalom aleinu, ve'yakol Yisrael, ve'imru amen, ve'yakol Yisrael, ve'imru amen.
I've been thinking a lot lately about life. What will come of the rest of our year, the rest of this pandemic, the rest of our lives? I know, those are some scary questions, and I've accepted that I may not have all the answers to all of them right now. There is so much uncertainty in the world, especially in this day and age, and this week's Torah portion, Bechar Bechukotai, provides some grounding and some hope, but not without some effort. Let me explain, but before I do so, let me introduce myself. My name is Madison Rosenfield, and I have been part of the CBI community since Mommy and Me. I currently serve as president of the Southern Tropical region of NIFTY and have spent many, many years within Busy and with all of you. And I'm so excited to be here and share some Jewish wisdom with everyone. In this week's Torah portion, Adonai makes a promise of a great magnitude. Of course, this is not Adonai's first promise to the Jewish people, but it's a pretty special one. God promises that if the people of Israel will keep Adonai's commandments, they will enjoy material prosperity and dwell securely in their homeland. But Adonai also delivers a harsh rebuke, warning of the exile, persecution, and other evils that will befall them if they abandon their covenant with God. Nevertheless, even when they are in the land of their enemies, Adonai says, I will not cast them away, nor will I ever abhor them, to destroy them and to break my covenant with them, for I am the Lord their God. As important as our covenant with God is, I'd like to examine the latter section of this previous statement. Even when we are in the land of our enemies, new uncharted territory like, say, college or a new job or yet another semester of distance learning, Adonai will keep us close and look out for us. And we, as the class of 2020, have to keep this sentiment near and dear. This is an unprecedented time for us, the beginning of a new decade, the spreading of a new virus, the leap of faith of graduating and flying the nest into a new life, in most likely a new place. In a nutshell, this portion tells us that even if God is angry at the Jewish people and must punish us, God will never abandon us or forget us. We must remember our covenant with Adonai, and Adonai will remember us. We must work together to make sense of this tricky situation, and we will surely emerge stronger than before. I'd love to share a quick story with all of you that I found in a book called A Piece of Peace by Shirach Al-Malkli. This story is about a little wave bobbing along in the ocean, having a grand old time. He was crashing the wind and enjoying the fresh air until he noticed the other waves in front of him crashing against the shore. My God, the wave exclaimed, this is terrible. Look what's going to happen to me. Then along came another wave. It saw the first wave looking grim and it said to him, why do you look so sad? The first wave said, you don't understand. We are all going to crash. All of us waves are going to be nothing. Isn't it terrible? The second wave said, no, you don't understand. You're not a wave. You're part of the vast and powerful ocean. The moral of this story is, alone, we are just drops of water. Together, we are an entire ocean. The value of a person is not based on individual performance, but on how we contribute to the team, society, and even the entire universe. Further, there is always a plan for us. Just as Adonai in the parsha promises to never forget the Jews and keep us on course, an ocean promises to never forget the waves that make it up. I've had the immense privilege of growing up alongside each of you and witnessing the amazing and important things we all collectively bring to society. Never forget to pay it forward. Never forget our roots, the home we have built here, or the hope that we as Jews must hold near and dear to our hearts. There are big things coming from the class of 2020, I am sure of it. B'hatzlacha, good luck to each and every single one of you. Thank you and Shabbat Shalom.
Yasher Koach, Maddie. That was beautiful. You all are doing such a wonderful job. And one of the elements that Maddie speaks about is this idea of waves and how it's all interconnected and we're all part of the same ocean. And we have to take a moment now to think of people that are part of our ocean, part of our community, who are struggling with emotional or physical well-being and health. And we offer our prayers for healing. So let us remember and think of those who need a healing of body, a healing of soul at this time. Deborah Benson, Alvin Yarkin, Charlotte Kammer, Richard Levine, Nicole McKevitt, Michelle Kingen, Karen Silver, Sheila Butler, Carol Porwich, Michelle Uvrard, Elliot Porwich, Michael Medoff, Chavalea Bat-Esther, Rachel Glatt, Josh Bernstein, Margot Engel, David Schwartz, Casey Rosemayer, Marcia Schiller Silverstein, Elvira Chavez, Gary Bandel, Victoria Athis, Chana Rachel Batvora, Baruch Ben Penina, Shelby Cabin, Thelma Fisher, Howard Kleinberg, Elliot Kleinberg, Hannah Zagel, Naomi Kirsty, Lori Chazenhurwitz, Michael Zoll, Ben Evans, Toby Koritsky, Tammy Shestak Lipsky, Claire Weiss, Linda Freilich, Heshi Glatt, Richard Stransky, Shahar Karen, Marjorie Frankel, Alex Sanchez, Deborah Israel, Jerry Butwin, Rich Reich, Robert Scheinberg, and Rebecca Yor. May God think kindly of them as Liv continues with our Misha Berach prayer.
Please turn to page 253. Misha Berach Avotenu Mikor HaBracha Leimotenu. May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen. Misha Berach Imotenu Mikor HaBracha Leavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say Amen.
Sophie Borowski.
I am going to Florida Atlantic University.
Jared Ginter.
I'm studying computer science.
Jenny Hannapole.
Going to University of South Florida.
Liv Hout.
I will be attending the University of Florida. Go Gators.
Tara Hecht.
I think she got Zoom disconnected. We're going to get her back in.
All right, I'll carry on. Skylar Hyman.
I'll be attending the University of Central Florida.
Alan Katz.
I'll be attending the University of Miami.
Alec Landau.
I here with my Hasidic Pekingese gizmo am going to California North State University.
Nathan Lax.
I'm going to be working in the field of commercial drone piloting.
Taylor Roberts.
I'm going to Florida State University. Go Noles.
Madison Rosenfield.
I will be attending the University of Michigan. Go Blue.
Noah Seligson.
I'll be attending the University of Central Florida.
Bradley Schimmel.
I will be attending the University of Florida.
And Tara, are you back on? We'll get Tara after. Mazel tov.
It's now our pleasure to hear from the Vice President of Education of Congregation B'nai Israel, Robin Rubinoff.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone. It is a true honor and a pleasure for me to congratulate all of the graduates on behalf of the SLJ board and the board of trustees and from everyone in the congregation at CBI. We are so, so proud of all of you. You have put on a beautiful and meaningful and touching service tonight. We are so happy that you are all part of our CBI family, and we can't wait to see all the exciting and wonderful things that you all do in your future. Best wishes and best of luck to all of you next year. Keep in touch, and a huge mazel tov to all of you and to all of your families. Shabbat shalom.
Thank you, Robin. So, boy, this is always bittersweet to come to the end of a year, especially this year with this pandemic and the inability to be there with all of our graduates and to share this moment in person with them and their families. Many of them I've known since preschool and all through growing up, B'nai Mitzvah. And indeed, these are very special children. And I shouldn't call them children because they are now young adults. I truly am enamored with all of you and all that you have accomplished, all that you have done, and thinking about all that you will do. People know I'm fond of stories, so I want to share a story with you tonight. There was once a reporter traveling across the United States in search of interesting stories. She came across a town in mid-America that at first blush seemed like every other town she had visited. However, there was one thing different about this town. In that town, no one had a cell phone, an iPad, or a laptop. Everyone in town jotted notes down on a pad of paper with a pencil. She couldn't remember when she had seen so many people with pencils in hand. So she stopped a clerk in a store and asked, "Excuse me, but can you tell me why in this town everyone uses a pencil?" And the clerk responded, "These are special pencils, Goldberg's pencils. These pencils are the wisest pencils in the world. When you write with them, they actually make you feel better." "What makes these pencils so special?" asked the reporter. "No one really knows," answered the clerk. "The pencils are produced in Goldberg's factory, and no one is permitted to enter the factory except for Mr. Goldberg." Now, this reporter knew a hot story when she came across one. So she decided to infiltrate the Goldberg pencil factory. She finds the address, parks her car, and then in the dead of night breaks into the factory and waits for the morning to witness the production of the famous Goldberg pencils. Sure enough, 8 a.m., the door to the factory opens and in walks Mr. Goldberg. The reporter watches him put on an apron, gloves, and goggles and proceed with the production of his pencils. Nothing is out of the ordinary as far as pencil production goes, but just before 5 p.m., when Mr. Goldberg has finished 100 beautiful yellowish orange number 2 pencils, he places them all upon his work table and addresses them as follows. "Kinderlach, my dear little pencils, you are about to go forth into the world, schools, businesses, homes, and so forth. Remember the following important lessons. 1, everything you do will always leave a mark. 2, if you're not so happy with the mark, don't worry, you can erase it. Erase it quickly, because the longer you leave the mark, the harder it will be to erase it. Number 3, you will undergo some very painful sharpenings, but you know what? It will make you a better pencil. 4, at some time, you may end up in a desk for years or behind a shelf or lost on the road, abandoned, forgotten, alone. At those times, remember what makes you a pencil is not what's outside of you, it's what's inside of you. And finally, Kinderlach, my dear pencils, in order to be the very best pencil in the world, you have to be held and guided by the hand that holds you. So respect that hand, for it will help you become what you were put on this earth to be." And with that address to the pencils, Mr. Goldberg turned the lights out, went home after a day's work, and the reporter knew what made the Goldberg pencil so special. Now, all of my dear students, the pencil is a metaphor. Do you know what it is a metaphor of? I see smiling faces. Am I getting any nods of recognition? Yes? Those pencils are you. You students are also very special. I thank your families who have entrusted us with your religious and spiritual education. Along with your parents, we have all worked diligently to help craft your inside and prepare you to go out into the world and make your mark. Be proud of who you are and don't be afraid to make mistakes. It happens to all of us. Just make sure you correct it and try again. Even though we will no longer be with you every week and every month, know that your Judaism, your tradition, and especially your God will continue to hold you in his hand and guide you throughout your life. It has indeed been an honor and a privilege to help sharpen you to a point where you can make your mark in the world. Make your parents, your families, your rabbis and cantors, your entire synagogue, and the whole household of Israel proud. Mazel tov.
Please turn to page 282. Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol, l'teip gedula le'otzer breshit, shelo asanu kegoyei haratzot, velo samanu kemishpachot ha'adama, shelo sam chalkenu kahem, vegor aleinu kechol hamonam, va'anachnu korim, umishtachavim umodim, lifnei melech, malkei hamlakim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu.
At this time, we think of those who are no longer physically with us, but who are indeed with us in spirit. We mourn the passing of our member, Lori Goldstein Kestacher, wife of Stan and mother of Michael, Stephen, and Alex. The funeral will be held this Sunday. And we are in the period of Shiva for Joseph Bernard Einsidler and Annette Seidman Cohen. We're in the period of Shloshim, the 30-day period of mourning for Eleanor Toberoff, Judith Nan Lax, Rana Tashoff, Nancy Katz, Rachel Otto, Al Kanegas, and Robin Faith Schott. And we recall the yahrzeits of Leona Ackerman, Annette Edelman, Barbara Banks Wittich, Michael Begayer, Rhonda Blau, Sonia Brill, Margaret Coburn, Harry Fisher, Ira Goldsmith, Joseph Gordon, Morris Herman, Jared Jacobson, Selma J., Dina Levine, A. Roberts Lieberman, Briona Mendelbaum, Michael Marks, Leonard Ostroff, Renee Peretz, Soul Writer, Donald Rich, Estelle Roden, George Rosen, Seth Rosenzweig, Ethel Rossler, Leonard Schwab, Elaine Shane, Peter Spire, Irving Taylor, Rosalind Wallach, Laverna Yasmin, and Joseph Young. For all who are remembering at this time, we join together with our mourners Kaddish. Yikadal v'yikadash shemei Rabbah, ve'oma divrei chirutei v'yamlich machutei, v'chayachon v'yimechon uv'chayedecho b'Yisrael, v'agala v'zman kariv v'imru amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mevarach le'olam u'me'omaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitshomam v'yitnaseh. Vit hadar vit alevi talal shemedi kudisha berehu leolam min kol birchata v'shirata tush b'chata v'nechemata da'amiram be'ama v'imru amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya v'chayim aleinu ve'akol Yisrael v'imru amen. Osei shalom b'mama hu yasei shalom aleinu ve'akol Yisrael v'imru amen. May the one who creates harmony on high bring peace to us and to all Israel, to which we say, Amen.
a few announcements for us on this Friday, on this rainy Friday night. Tomorrow morning, services 9 a.m. I believe officiated by Rabbi Silvers and Kentra Muchnick, if I'm correct. Good Torah portion. Don't miss a double portion. It's really fabulous. So particularly if you like bells, there's a very famous bell in this Torah portion. So if you want to talk about a very famous bell, not the guy who made the telephone, a different kind of bell. So that's at 9 a.m. tomorrow. And then of course, the whole week, we have all of our regular allotment of programs and services. If you'd like to or are able to have access to or have someone you're connected to our preschool, their graduation is happening for us this week as well. So I'm very excited for them also, for our pre-K grads. And I think that's all the announcements that I have that I can think of. But before we continue with the final song, I did want to share something with you all, and that is coming up in a second, actually. And that is coming up in a second, actually. And that is coming up in a second.
We do it today.
Well, that was fun. I don't know about
So,
you. That was so much fun.
That's not the audio that I put to that. I don't know what Zoom did to it. However, I hope you guys all got to see the pictures, and I'm gonna have our marketing team put up the video, the real video on YouTube sometime. But we're gonna, we want to thank all the parents and kids for sending in pictures, and that is not what the audio is supposed to sound like.
We're just pranking the graduates.
You're pranking me, I think.
Oh, beautiful. All right, so we're going to
Rabbi
close.
Cohen?
We're ready for the closing song with Cantor
perfect.
Sarah.
We are gifts, and we are blessings. We are His story in song. We are hope, and we are healing. We are learning to be strong. We are words and we are stories. We are pictures of the past. We are carriers of wisdom, not the first and not the last. Door by door, nagid the door by door, we protect this chain from generation to generation. The door by door, these lips will praise your name. Looking back on the journey that we carry in our heart, from the shadow of the mountain and the waters that would part. We are blessed and we are holy. We are children of your way. And the words that bring us meaning, we will have the strength to say. The door, nagid door by door, we protect this chain. From generation to generation, door by door, these lips will praise your name.
Eloheinu v'Elohei Avotenu, our God, God of our people. Though the world has caused us to be apart, this moment we have shared together this last hour or so has brought us closer to you, and I pray closer to one another. We pray, oh God, that these students might know only health and well-being in this world. Let them be the ones who help lead us away from plague, from hatred, and from pain, to embrace the goodness, the peace, and the beauty of a world healed and a world redeemed. Bruchim atem b'voachem. We are blessed in that we have all gathered for this very special service. Bruchim atem b'tzeichem. Let us be blessed as we each now return back into our own homes, into our own rooms, and to our own families. Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom, everybody. Shabbat shalom.
Mazel tov, everyone. Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat
Mazel tov.
shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
Mazel tov.